I suspect your film gave more people cardiac arrest than any film ever made. I mean, the anger that it... But your film looks as though you knew exactly what you were doing the whole time. Is that true?
No. But I did know a lot. When all this stuff happened, you know, George W. Bush, you know, really got me started in film. You know, first the Iraq War and then the financial crisis. It's kind of hard to beat that guy. Although, unfortunately, I have to say Barack Obama in this area, the economic realm, is giving Mr. Bush a run for his money, very sadly. But I had a long background in this. Filmmaking is not my first life. I originally was a policy wonk. I got a PhD in political science at MIT, and my thesis advisor was a very distinguished, utterly brilliant economist by training, to whom the film is dedicated. He died just before the film was finished. Actually, I was very sad that he wasn't able to see it. But so I had a background in this, and I knew some of the people who were among the first people to warn about the coming of this. Charlie Morris, who's in the film, Nouriel Roubini, who's in the film. These are people I've known for many years, and they started talking to me about this in 2007. And so, you know, they kept saying, you know, train coming this way, high speed.
And did you have the shape of the film in your head?
To some extent, by no means entirely. The editors and I, the two utterly brilliant, amazing editors who were utterly integral to creating this film, Chad Beck and Adam Bolt, they started from the visual end. They produced a 5.5-hour assembly of what they thought was the best footage. And I started from my policy wonky, and I wrote documents and outlines, and you know, I have a very kind of structured, linear mind in this regard, and we kind of met in the middle.
I mean, Audrey, you should talk about this, but one of the fun things about it is the way you cream academia. And you were a part of academia. Was that a surprise to you when you discovered all these famous academics were in the pay of the various hedge funds, banks, and whatever? I mean, it was kind of a shocking revelation.
I realize that it is very shocking to many people. Many people have commented that it's the most shocking for them part of the film. Unfortunately, it was not shocking for me. When I was a graduate student and a postdoc at MIT, I saw the beginnings of this problem. The Law and Economics Consulting Group was it's a very sleazy consulting firm founded by a group of Berkeley professors who've had very powerful effects on government policy. Two of the founders have been the Assistant Attorney General for Antitrust, for example. And they, just a bit of a digression, but interesting one. They sold back their shares to the company before going into the government, and then the instant that they came back out of the government, they bought them back. And they were founded to do antitrust consulting, needless to say, not on the government side. They were founded in 1988, just before I finished my doctorate. They are now a $350 million per year publicly held firm.
So what was your... Sorry, go on, Audrey.
I was going to say the remarkable thing from my perspective as a producer was asking them to be interviewed. And so many people have seen, especially Glenn Hubbard and Frederick Mishkin, and said, why on earth would they agree to be interviewed? And they said yes so easily, and I think it's because they had never been challenged on this subject before. And we had interviewed Glenn Hubbard first. He's the head of Columbia Business School. And 2 weeks later, we wanted to interview Mishkin, who also is at Columbia Business School, same building. So we really didn't think we were going to get away with it. Because if you've seen the interview with Hubbard, he's clearly very unhappy with us. So we showed up with a very small crew that day. I kind of tried to dress like a student a little bit. Charles wore a baseball hat, which he never wears. And we got away with Mishkin's interview as well.